Agite Woch, Brüder und Schwester, Teire Jiden von Amerika. Good week, brothers and sisters, Jews from America. The subject I would like to talk to you about is Farvus Jiden darf stimmen zu Donald Trump. Why Jews in the coming election had to vote for Donald Trump. But first let me introduce myself. My name is Yoram Sheftel. For the last 45 years I'm a defense attorney, a criminal lawyer, and I had also the privilege about 39 years ago to represent the legendary Meyer Lansky and to secure his right to come back to his homeland, the State of Israel. The subject, as I said, is very, very crucial. This Tuesday, you all going to go to vote in the coming election, unless you did it already. Then what I'm going to tell you is irrelevant. As Jews, to my opinion, although I'm an Israeli and you all live in the United States and US citizens as well, but still, as Jews, to my opinion, the most important thing when a Jew goes to put his vote in election of the President of the United States is policy, if he's an incumbent, or if he's not incumbent, what he suggests, what he promised to do as far as the relationship between Israel and the United States. Now, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, there cannot be any argument that he is the best president since the establishment of the State of Israel as far as his relationship with the State of Israel. Some may wonder, maybe Truman is the best president ever since the establishment of the State of Israel, and the answer is unequivocally no. It is true, Truman recognized the State of Israel less than 15 minutes after it was declared. But first of all, it was a recognition de facto and not de jure. And second, and most important, with his approval of the State of Israel, recognition of the State of Israel, he also put an embargo, American embargo on selling arms to Israel, which was attacked day after its declaration of independence by 7 Arab states. And yet he imposed an embargo of arms sales, US embargo, to the State of Israel, just born and already attacked by 7 Arab countries. So he's definitely not the best president Israel ever had. Let's look at the record of Donald Trump as far as his acts towards the State of Israel. Donald Trump was the first president that recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. It is worthwhile to notice that until Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, every Israeli which was born in Jerusalem, as far as the US, was not born at all in Israel. If he was an American citizen, on his passport, place of birth, not the State of Israel, Jerusalem, because all the American administrations, without any exception, did not recognize not only Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, but Jerusalem as part of Israel. And Donald Trump recognized unequivocally Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, including all the areas which were released from Arab occupation in the Six-Day War. And immediately afterwards, the American embassy was moved from Tel Aviv to the place it should be, Jerusalem. No other president ever done such a thing. Never. But this is only one of many acts of Donald Trump towards the State of Israel. He also recognized the sovereignty of the State of Israel over the Golan Heights, which is critically strategic place to defend Israel from aggression from the north. Many presidents discussed about it before Trump, as they promised time and again to move the US embassy to Jerusalem, but no one did it, and the only one which did it was Donald Trump, but more so. The peace plan of the administration of Donald Trump recognized the full right for Israeli sovereignty upon all the settlements in Judea and Samaria and in the Valley of Jordan. We're talking about 500,000 Israelis, which the American administration under Donald Trump recognized the right of the State of Israel to annex all these 500,000 people which live in about 200 settlements. No one on the international arena never even was close for such a vital pro-Israeli move which secure the eastern border of the State of Israel against any aggression. But again, this is also not everything which Donald Trump did towards the State of Israel. He kicked out from Washington the representative of the PLO. He stopped financing UNRWA, which is one of the most important factors which keeps the Arab-Israeli conflict alive, keeps this ridiculous position of so-called Palestinians to claim the right to return of 6 million Arabs, which 99% of them never born and never been to the land of Israel, and by wishing to allow them to come to the State of Israel actually is to destroy the State of Israel from being a Jewish state. And most important, the Obama administration did everything and actually initiated the horrible pact, the horrible deal between the Iranians and 6 other powers, which allows the Iranians to have a nuclear program. A nuclear program which its only aim is to develop an atomic bomb, and the only place which the Iranians want to drop this atomic bomb is on the State of Israel. And Donald Trump withdrew for this catastrophic deal with the Iranians, and instead of cooperating with the deal, he put harsh sanctions upon the Iranians, which crippling and devastated the Iranian economy, and makes it more difficult and actually impossible to instigate terror by the Iranian regime, a terror mainly aimed against the state of Israel. So the conclusion is very simple and very clear. Very simple and very clear. Tuesday, every Jew which treats seriously his Jewishness must go to the polls and vote for Donald Trump to secure another 4 years of the most pro-Israeli president ever. And I will go even further and will say the following. Since the days of Koresh, which 2536 years ago gave the permit to rebuild the temple on the Temple Mount, since the days of Koresh, on the international arena, there was not one important, influential figure that was so pro-Jewish and so pro-Israeli as President Donald Trump. Let's hope and wish that with the assistance of your vote, he will be elected again for 4 more years. Thank you very much for listening.